Fast Eddie Constantine with MMA.INFO. We are here with Lana Stefanac. Lana, at the Gracie Open, you are here coaching. Like you just said, you don't have a voice left. You got a lot of students out there. How are they doing so far?
So far we got a second place, and I got 4 girls left and 2 boys.
Outstanding. So it's still got a long way to go.
Long way, yeah.
Now, you just came back from Barcelona. Going into the tournament, definitely the big favorite for ADCC. Fill in the fans who didn't get to see your match. What happened?
It was lousy. What happened was the first 10 minutes, Abu Dhabi, first 5 minutes of no points. I got a Greco-Roman Olympic wrestler. She had judo black belt and jiu-jitsu black belt. Went 10 minutes, no points. She got warned a few times. I arm dragged her, took her back a few times, and she ran out with me on her back. We had a very immature ref. He didn't understand that restart us in the same position. That alone could have changed the outcome of the fight. Ended up going 20 minutes, no points, -1, -1. I couldn't take her down, she couldn't take me down, but it was a bad call. But again, if they would have started us with me on her back, it would have really changed the outcome of the fight. So that's the one thing I'm really disappointed about.
Still not a bad year for you. You know, Mundial world champion, no-gi world champion. You are the absolute, like you said, and in your division. When can we look to see Lana Stefanac back in the cage?
I gotta lose some weight first. I'm a little ways off from 135. I figure.
Me too.
If I cut off both my legs, I'm looking maybe potentially end of November. Maybe. We're talking with a few different organizations right now. I'm probably gonna end up fighting again at 165, 175, which I'm about 30 pounds off right now. So, but that's what we're looking at right now.
And in the meantime, any opportunity, perhaps maybe a grappling competition as well to stay sharp and keep your game on top?
I train every day with some of the best people in the world, so I don't really need tournaments to stay on top. But when I was going to do no-gi worlds again this year, but I have a girl fighting at the Violet Casino November 7th. Amanda Lucas is making her pro debut here in the United States, so I have to do that. So I won't be doing no-gi worlds this year. I will go back and defend both my titles, Absolute, Mundials, and also my division for gi.
Outstanding. And give us your take on the status, I should say, or state of women's mixed martial arts. Obviously, the biggest fight, the most viewed women's MMA match has come down, but I know you got your own opinions on how MMA is, and especially with the women. So share those with some of the fans.
With women's MMA, it's just like everything else. Women don't make nearly as much as they should. They don't get half the recognition that they should. And I think that's partly due to the reason it's a lot of the women's fault too. Because to be taken seriously, you have to be as good as a guy or better, or be really beautiful. So, or be both. And if you're both, God bless you. But the problem is right now we have too many girls cherry picking. You know, we have a lot of pro boxers going pro MMA, and they do all these things, and they expect that, you know, oh, I'm 29-0 in boxing, I'm gonna go kill somebody in a cage, and it's totally different. You know, people don't understand. They're like, oh, I'm tough and I can beat people up, I can knock people out. It's not a bar fight. You know, cage fighting is everything. And what's really horrible about when you get these girls who know nothing on the ground, you get these promoters calling around asking, they're cherry picking. You have a girl who's not so good for someone who's like 35-0 in boxing. No, I don't. I got fighters, or you want a boxer, call Jackie Kalin or somebody else, you know. So that's unfortunate, because even though it's bringing a little more notoriety but not in a great light, it's good for women's MMA that there's so many people coming out like that and trying to do cage, but they should be doing amateur first. They shouldn't jump right into the hotbed and try to make money. But again, once you're a pro boxer, you can't really do amateur. So you run into a thing, and I'd like to see the Athletic Commission revamp some of those rules, because just because you're a pro kickboxer doesn't mean you're a pro cage fighter, men or women, you know? But the same is true. It's like if a guy goes and is a professional boxer, he can't go be a professional MMA cage fighter right off the bat either, because the law doesn't allow that. It's once you turn pro in MMA or boxing or any sport like that, combat sport, you can't fight MMA. So they need to fix that rule, so a lot of these girls who are pro boxers, they don't just go in there and pick on cans and look, I'm 3-0. No, you're not. Don't lie.
Well, and that's a great point, Lana. And again, you know, with women's MMA being so new, the sport really is on the cutting edge. Hopefully, again, those commissions do look at those rules and try to revamp it. But we do know commissions can be a little stubborn from time to time.
They absolutely are. A lot of nice guys, some of them, but they have power complexes that need to be checked sometimes, you know?
Yes. And in closing, you know, somebody we've talked about off camera before, somebody who does have the skill as well as the looks, and is a good friend of ours, co-host of Cage Divas, Misha Tate. Misha is a big Lana Stefanac fan. I got to make sure I say that first. But could you see someone like Misha, you know, really becoming the new name for women's MMA, especially at 135, again, with Gina taking kind of a hiatus?
Well, with that loss to Cyborg, she needed to take a hiatus. Gina's a great person, but I just don't think she had half of what it took to fight Cyborg. Something like Misha and I started out on a real wrong foot. We started on a good foot, and then we two-stepped into a bad foot, but we've talked and kind of I've ironed things out with her a little bit. It doesn't matter, like, but what bothers me so much is the look things. You know, I've got 20 girls. Out of those 20 girls, half of them are Playboy bunnies, the other half are rough, tough, knock 'em, drop 'em, mama dykes, some of them. You know, they are, and that's the God's truth. But some of them are porn stars, some are famous people's daughters. So when people call me, they'll say, hey, can I get the porn star? Or, oh, can I get George Lucas's daughter? Oh, if you don't know her name, you don't get her. So, am I allowed to swear?
Oh, by all means, fucking A.
Yeah, fuck off. Call me when you want a real fighter. So I get people who call like that all the time. Like, well, what does she look like? It doesn't fucking matter, dude. You know, because a lot of times they just want a pretty girl. They want a ring girl that can fight, and it's bullshit. What about like Amanda Buckner? Looks like a little boy, but she's one of the coolest people. But she is entertaining to watch. You know, Vanessa Porto. These aren't girls that most American men go, oh, I want to fuck her. You know, but that's a fact. You know, Misha's gorgeous. She's drop dead gorgeous, and that plays a lot in her favor. But Misha's also, she's not the best she could be, but she has potential to shoot right up there. You know what I mean? So I'd like to see more people, you know, not just so much, Misha's gorgeous, but not so much people with looks, you know. I would like to see people taking it more serious and pushing the women's end of fighting. Not just, oh, she's so hot, you know. Are you fucking serious? Look at Tito Ortiz. That's an ugly monkey with blonde hair. Or Chuck Liddell with a big barrel belly. You know, like, women find other types of men attractive, but men usually typically only find one type of girl attractive. So that plays really bad for everybody. I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon. And I'm being realistic. I'm not a feminazi, but I hate that fact, and it's a fact. But I'd like to see that change, and it has to change. If women are to be taken seriously, and if women are to be serious ever, it has to change. It has to. Or else they should just shoot it in the leg like they did women's boxing. Or no, not women's boxing, like women's bodybuilding. Remember that? Those girls were twice your size, ripped and shredded, but it was like, oh, that's a freak. Well, look at the guys. They're freaks too. You know, so, but
that double standard is very prevalent. And it's going to take women like you to take that stand and really, just like you said, not answer the promoter when they only want looks. And it's going to, you know, so I commend you on that, Lana, right. So thank you.
But whatever I don't feel, some other knucklehead will, so. But I got a big mouth and a bad attitude, so.
Well, and that's why I'm not training with you, because I don't want to get beat up. So, Lana Stefanac, thank you so much for joining us at ProMMA.info.
Thank you.